Hey, how's it going? If you're new here, my name is Jan and I love makeup. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you. Today's video is episode 6 in the Throwback Thursday series I'm doing using old makeup. Today's palette of choice is the Natasha Denona Love palette. I mentioned in the beginning of the video that I didn't pick this up when it was first released. I've used it twice now. The first time, wasn't happy with the look that I came up with, so I decided to try again. And I do think I like the look I've got today. If you want to see how I got this look, stick around, we're going to get into it. Let me just say first, real quick, if you're not subscribed to my channel already, you should do that now. I upload 4 videos a week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Thursdays like today is a Throwback Thursday using old makeup. So I hope that you enjoy this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. All right. I'm about to have a very naked face. Brace yourself. All right, you are all zoomed in and I've primed my eyes. That's as far as I've gotten this morning. So this is episode 6 in the Throwback Thursday series I'm doing using old makeup. And today we have the Natasha Denona Love palette. This was released in 2020. I did not get it then. We were going through some stuff in my family when this was released. So makeup was pretty much the last thing I was thinking about at that point. And this went on sale for like half price in the late summer, early fall on Sephora. So I grabbed it then. This is what the inside looks like. I'm sure you've seen it 1,000 times. So I thought since we're doing the throwback series, I would bust this out. It's almost Valentine's Day. It's the Love palette. It just seemed like a good time to break it out. I think I'm gonna stick with the purple shades in this palette. I did a recent Valentine's-ish day look on my channel using red and pink, so I feel like purple might be a nice way to go. So I'm gonna dip into this shade first on a fluffy brush. And we're just gonna see what that looks like in the crease area. Hey, looks just like my skin. Perfect. So maybe I'll dip into Valentine and use that as my quote-unquote crease shade. It is pink, but I feel like if we add in the purples, it won't be overwhelmingly pink. It is really pretty, and it's layering over that first shade perfectly. Oh, I should have taped my eyes. I'm just gonna tape up my eyes real quick. I've been noticing lately that I'm really struggling getting the right shape on the outer portion of my eye. I don't know what's going on. I suspect it's age and gravity wreaking havoc with my skin, even though I'm doing all the things I can to help. We can't stop time. So decided to use the tape more often than not. A lot of times I don't use it because maybe not everyone necessarily likes this kind of a thing, and that is much too high. But I need all the help I can get, so we're using the tape. It really does make a huge difference on the shape that I get on the outer portion of my eye. If you haven't used this technique before, I highly recommend if you struggle with the shape of your eyes as well. My eyes are super hooded, so that's a big factor for me. And they droop. I've got all of this excess skin here, and when I don't tape, I can't get a clean look out here. Even if I place the shadow in exactly the right spot, it doesn't look right. So tape it is. On that same brush, I'm gonna dip in ever so gently to the shade Trust and get that going just a little lower, focusing the majority of the pigment out here, and then we'll slowly work it in and up onto my crease. In the pan, it looks super dark and intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. Just remember where you're putting your brush first is where most of the pigment is going to be, and then you can blend it out from there. once you've gotten a fair amount of the eyeshadow off of your brush. See, that's super light, super pretty. Not too scary at all. And then of course we can build up the color if we want to, which I think I am going to do. I'm gonna go in with a still fluffy but pinched at the ferrule brush so we can get this built up a tiny bit without going too crazy up here, because I look straight ahead, you can't see it. So I need to add a bit more, but I want to control where it goes. So using a smaller, slightly more dense pinched brush will help with that. If you have all the eyelid space you could possibly want, this won't be an issue for you, which is awesome. But it is an issue for me. And it doesn't have to make it harder necessarily. I think it's just a matter of knowing what brush to use and where to place the eyeshadow. And since my eyes seem to be changing, I'm learning as I go. Now I think for my next step, using that same brush, I'm gonna dip into the shade Dream. This looks gorgeous. And I'm gonna put it kind of all over my lid. All right, same kind of brush, but smaller and a bit more flat. I'm gonna pack that on the inner portion of my eye. There's a purple shade in here called Pure Love I want to use, but I'm pretty sure that's more of a topper than an actual pigmented eyeshadow. This definitely seems to be giving me some trouble. Okay, and on that same brush, I'm just gonna flip it over and dip into the shade Commitment. And we're just gonna put that really out on the outer portion, like the outer V of the lid and up into the crease. Just get a little definition going. Gonna blend it over where that purple shade is. Going back into that first fluffy pinched brush, we're just gonna blend the edges. And then I'm gonna go back in with the fluffy brush we used at the beginning and just really buff and blend along that darker purple shade. Now I'm gonna wet a flat shadow brush and dip into the shade Pure Love. And focus that on the inner portion and bringing it out a little bit. And go back in with the blending brush. You think we're looking a little crazy, but once my face is done, everything should come together. So we're gonna peel the tape off. Like I mentioned, every time I use this tape method, I get most of the sticky off before I apply it to my eyes. So there, that's where we're at right now. You can see I've got a bunch of fallout, which I was expecting. I definitely wasn't being careful, so I'm going to go off camera, clean up my under eyes, get my face on, and then I'll come back and we'll finish up the lower lash line. All right, I'm back. My face is all on, obviously. Now let's finish up the lower lash line. I did tight line with my LA Girl black eyeliner, and I'm gonna use my LA Girl Shockwave metallic eyeliner in the shade Sequence for my bottom waterline, my lower waterline, and in my lashes. Using an eyeliner like that tends to help with fallout, and then I'll just deepen out the outer corner with a shade from the palette. So I'm gonna get this going on my waterline and in between my lashes. I have this Unit 203 pencil brush. I'm gonna dip into the shade Commitment just a little bit and just buff that out here. We can tie the upper lid with the lower lash line. And then with nothing left of my brush, I'm just gonna buff out that purple eyeliner. There isn't a good inner corner slash highlight shade in here. I think they're all gonna be too dark for me. So I'm just going to dip into the highlight I used on my face which today happened to be the Pat McGrath Bridgerton palette. And I'm going to use my nifty E27 from Rose and Ben. I love this brush. I think it is so cool. Okay, I'm gonna zoom you out, fix my hairs as much as I can, and I'll be back and we can wrap this up. So that is it for this Throwback Thursday using the Natasha Denona Love palette. Do you have this? Do you use it on the reg, or do you save it for a special occasion? Do you love it? I'm interested to hear what you have to say in the comments section. This is my second time using it, and the purple shades gave me a little bit of trouble, but I think in the end it worked out great. I really like the look I came up with. The tape makes a huge difference on my very hooded 44-year-old eyes. So try that if you're having trouble with your outer V area too. I guess that's it. Thank you so much for your time today. Be good and remember to be kind to you.